there's any questions, maybe people can raise their hand.
Patrick, dans le question and answer, tu as déjà une question. Puis je pense qu'il va falloir que tu répètes un peu ce que tu fais en français.
Oh, oui. Je m'excuse comme tout était en anglais. Parce que, oui, on est une société québécoise et j'en suis très fier. Mais une grande partie de notre actionnariat, c'est la région de la Beauce, ça attire beaucoup d'attention de nos actionnaires qui sont la majorité canadiens, mais réellement de partout. On a des grands actionnaires qui viennent de Dubaï, de l'Europe, même l'Asie et un peu même aux États-Unis. Alors, c'est pour ça que souvent, beaucoup de choses sont faites en anglais. Mais par contre, mes communiqués de presse, et quand j'aurai le temps, je vais même faire cette présentation en français aussi. How much time do we have for future drilling? So I got one anonymous attendee. I like to answer questions that I don't like people being anonymous. I mean, if you got a question, you should show yourself or say who you are. You know, but basically, you know, cash on. We did a raise. We just raised what for? We have about $500,000 of exploration money right now. You know, but I'm not going to rush to do a drilling until basically I got, you know, the targets and I want to wait till what are my results of my past drilling before I go forward for that. So that we'll see. You know, eventually, of course, we will have to drill, but when, how much, and that is to see, basically. First, let's, as far as Beauce goes, let's look at those antiforms. Let's see what my drill results from my last summer drilling that before answering that question. And so here, I'm just going to ask help from from Derek, my technical guy, if I got more questions here. Just a second.
Patrick, il y a une autre question au niveau de quand pouvons-nous espérer des résultats de forage avec les tanneurs? I'm not sure if you saw the question.
Okay. And who asked the question?
C'est François Laliberté.
Ah, OK. Bonjour, François. Oui, c'est que, ben, c'est ça, je veux dire, quand on va tout avoir les résultats du labo, comme j'ai expliqué en anglais, I'll explain. Basically, the question is that, you know, it's a drill question. When are we expecting the results? Well, I'll answer in French because he asked me the question in French. Mais comme je dis, on attend encore les laboratoires. C'est une saison record pour toutes les compagnies de forage qui a fait une tsunami. Tous les laboratoires, c'est une tsunami cet été de tout. Ils sont débordés. Alors, même si on a fini de couper les carottes, envoyer le labo au mois d'octobre, il nous manque encore à peu près un tiers des résultats. Fait que, je veux dire, on a déjà vu que c'était très visible. On a vu un forage qui avait de l'air visible, fait qu'on avait ça, on l'avait annoncé, parce qu'on avait l'air de le faire. Mais pour les restes, on attend tous les résultats qui rentrent. Une fois qu'on a ça, mais regarde, on appellera un petit peu plus. Mais j'attends encore les résultats. Malheureusement, c'est ça. C'est hors de notre contrôle, mais ça a commencé à rentrer, mais il manque encore à peu près un tiers, un tiers à peu près des résultats. Mais une fois qu'il y a ça, je veux dire, mon géologue, il va avoir tout en main pour faire des commentaires qui sont cohérents sur tout ça. Mais ça va venir.
Et Patrick, tu as une autre question de John Mania. OK. How do you protect the bull's property from trespasser?
Yeah, well, you know, well, basically, you know, some of it is very well present. Here's the thing: is that a lot of the land that we're working on, again, it's all parceled out. Even though we have a big chunk of land, it's all parceled out. My neighbors around me, you know, especially my neighbor next to me, Mr. Poulain, has a sixth sense, and geez, every time there's somebody there, he's quickly there with his VTTs, you know. So no, we have the participation of everybody in the town, and when there's something amiss, which it happened, you know, that's why we had to put out this press release. Somebody took the liberty of, you know, basically starting just trudging everywhere and starting, you know, doing sort of like artisanal mining. But, you know, I mean, you know, for any broken stream, it's one thing, you know, somebody spending an afternoon with this kid with a fishing rod, but if somebody's coming in casting a big net in the brook, well, that's wrong, you know. So same thing. So those things are caught really, really quickly by my neighbors. Everybody's vigilant on that. And again, it's because to get to my property, people have to trespass on other people's private property. So word gets around fast, and I get the call. I get the call, and if most of the time, again, it's really innocent. People are just curious. It's fine. But but there was one case, yeah, we called the cops, and the guy said, "Hey, get out." You can't do that. You have to respect the environment. Has two things here. Paramount, you have to respect the environment. Secondly, we have to respect property rights of everybody around there. And, we're quick to react. And again, it's all part of getting social acceptability is that, we're fast to react on that. But I understand, but most of the time it's just curious people, even some shareholders, just want to see the place. If that happens, just give me a call. I'll show you around. I'll be more than happy to walk the property with any shareholder any day, especially the summer.
But you don't want in the middle of winter?
Well, we won't see much in the winter. Last time I did that, I almost got stuck in the snow, literally. Should have brought snowshoes. So let's see. Where do we see?
In the chat, I think there's Mike Bender qui a posé une autre question, asked another question. This may be forward thinking and a little early. Have you considered bringing in a partner for a JV? And then there's another question from Del Tuck afterward.
A JV, well, bring it all depends, because people are looking at us, especially with what happened out west in the Yukon and the Caribou, big companies coming in. I mean, obviously, we're being looked at. Now, a JV, that implies a lot, because a JV means that we'll be sacrificing part of the property to somebody else. So it's all a question. It's all a question of the math, and it's a question if it's good for shareholders. Is it going to be good for the share price? Is it going to be good for shareholders? One advantage it does. You can move a project forward quickly without dilution. That's an advantage sometimes. But of course, we are giving up part of the future gains of a project. So all that has to be evaluated. No, I have nothing against it. It's a question. It's just got to make sense, and the timing has to be right. That's it. It's a question of price, and if it's good for all of us. If it is, we'd always entertain a JV for sure. If Gold Corp or Kinross, well, we're listening. Yeah. So basically, but no, there's no. We're not entertaining that. We're focused on moving the project forward. We're focused on making discoveries. We're still in the process of piecing all the pieces together. We're trying to hunt down where that gold came from, and we think we're coming close. But for now, we're just focused on that. Yeah.
There's a couple more. There's two more questions. One from Dale Tuck. There was a reference to copper and zinc, and a reference to over 1,000 meters of quality rock. Is there a possibility of base metals here too?
Well, yeah. Hi, Dale. Well, basically, we are focused on gold. And one thing is, as far as the Beauce property goes, there isn't so strong association with silver as explained before. When we analyze the gold grains and nuggets that we recuperate so far, on average, is about 6 to 7% silver with it. Now, as far as base metals, it could be usually. Like what's going on in the Beauce and in Megantic, with the fault line, geologic units and all that, it resembles a lot with what we see the Cadillac fault near Val-d'Or. Now, closest to the fault along there, you'll find basically our mostly costly gold mines. Step away from that, maybe like 200 to a kilometer, even 2 kilometers away from the corridor of the fault line of the Bella, no, not the Bella, let's say the fault line in the Val-d'Or. The Cadillac fault, where all the gold mines from Val-d'Or to Timmins. Step back a bit from that, away from that. That's where you have a lot of the polymetallic mines. Maybe there's potential for that, but then we'll see what the results are. I mean, look, if there's anything that's interesting and economical, of course we look at it. We're an exploration company, but so far it's gold. Gold's a thing, and that's the big indicator. There's gold. It's what hasn't, it's obviously the whole region is a giant gold anomaly with placer gold everywhere, and we're the first to have a look at it. So let's take this as far as we can go, because I believe that there has to be gold deposits that basically responds to all these placer gold anomalies. It came from somewhere and it hasn't been found yet, and I want to find it. And look, if we stumble across any other metal that's economic, well, so be it, you know. But of course, the lead so far is gold.
Et il y a une autre question de Toulam Chan. Est-ce qu'on va exploiter l'or sédimentaire de Beauce?
Bon, l'exploiter, so the question was, are we going to, can we consider exploiting or mining the placer deposit, which is known in the Beauce? Maybe, you know, don't forget is that there's a different thing. Again, everybody was, it's all a question of, we went towards that path when HPQ was Euro Gold, you know, which is basically our grandfather company at this point, if you count the spinoff. And again, so we didn't do official studies or economic studies, but we did back in the envelope studies with Jennifer and that. And you know, what that would imply basically would be apply all the, putting resources into measuring the deposit to have a 43101 resource, doing an economic study, preliminary study, applying for the mining lease, which, mind you, can all be done because Eurogold, when Eurogold went to a giant bulk sample to make a big pit to get access to the river's till to measure the placer deposit, they had we weren't allowed to do it as a simple bulk sample because, you know, the Ministry of Mines, Natural Resources says, well, you know, at this point, you guys are basically mining, you know. So in order to give you authorization to do your bulk sampling, you have to get your mining license, get your mining lease. So we went through the whole process to getting a mining lease to become like basically an operating mine, Eurogold back then. And we came far, you know, we got the environmental audit, we did the environmental studies, we got the environmental audit, we got the certificate authorization from the town, from the Ministry of Natural Resources, where people said we would never, ever get. We got it. So we got far. We were all the way up basically to applying the mining lease. But then this was back around 2013, 14. The venture capital for gold disappeared. And then we got into our graphite, which led to our quartz project, which led to HPQ today, which, as you know, which is doing really great. So we never look back on that. Now, will we look back to it? We'll see. You know, we'll come back to that again. Remember the data we found, the drill holes of the 1950s, which was the 1960s operation? We got to go back and analyze all that. So it's a question is there pockets of economic placer gold which can be mined? Maybe. We'll go back and look at that. But right now, we feel we're hot on a trail for what could be, hopefully, a big discovery. So, you know, we can mine, we can put resources on mining maybe a small deposit, which is sort of finite as we know, or we can take the same amount of money to go look for something which, again, maybe the find can be unlimited in size. Who knows? Maybe we're close to making a world-class discovery. But if we don't spend time and money on that, we'll never know. So we want to concentrate on that. However, coming back to this, maybe I think that I'm so concentrated on this. Just a second, yeah. If we go back to this, now, maybe, I mean, look, it's already partially a mine. Look at the big hole in the middle of this picture. If people are still seeing this, you know, there's a big scoop there. I mean, that's almost a mine right there. Technically, a quarry is a mine. So basically, you got to switch from being a quarry to basically to having a mining lease to be able to recuperate the gold. Now, even though if this is at surface and it looks easy, and of course, the cost of an open sand pit as far as a gold operation is a fraction of any mine operating out there, and would most likely be a very, very green mine as well. It's just gravity and water. We still have to go through the process of you know, measuring this deposit, you know, doing more work, measuring it, having a gold resource and preliminary assessment. But it's potential, yeah. I mean, this excites me. I mean, look, you know, in Saint-Simon-des-Mines, there is a gold deposit, but it has a 20 to 40 meter overburden on top, which has to be stripped or dig a shaft to get to the placer gold. Obviously, here the placer gold is right in front of us at surface. So this is really interesting, and we got to go back and have a look at it. So long story short is maybe, yeah, you know, maybe we'll know more this summer what to do when we go back to this. But we're definitely going back, for sure. Anne, is there another question?
Yes, there is. Okay. Il y en a deux autres. Un, c'est José Poulain, un fier Beauceron.
Beauceron, oui.
Oui. J'aimerais savoir quels sont vos plans à court et moyen terme. Votre but est-il d'explorer pour voir le potentiel pour ensuite vendre à une compagnie qui veut organiser l'exploitation ou vous comptez vous-même organiser l'exploitation? Si oui, dans quel horizon vous verriez une possibilité d'exploitation? Merci.
OK, so this is OK,
mais le répondre en français.
Madame Poulain, je vais répondre à votre question en français et aussi je vais décrire votre question en anglais pour tout le monde aussi en même temps. Alors, so the question from Madame Poulain, which is a resident near our Beauce Gold property. Madame Poulain is basically what's our short, long-term plans, and if we would consider, I answered a bit, if we would consider exploitation of placer gold, or we get another company to do it. Fait que I'll answer Madame Poulin's question in French. Alors, bonjour Madame Poulain. Fait que, ben, tout dépend de la sorte de dépôt. Quand on voit, par exemple, ici, à Mégantic des détails, quand on parle d'un dépôt qui est relativement une sablière, qui est déjà, en effet, comme quasi-mine en opération, oui, c'est quelque chose qui pourrait être opéré, c'est dans les moyens qui pourrait être opéré d'une société comme la nôtre. Si on fait une grande découverte dans la roche ou que ça requérait, en effet, un autre niveau d'expertise, en effet, c'est l'ampleur de la découverte qui va vraiment générer cette question-là. Développer une mine peut coûter jusqu'à 1 milliard. Alors, le dépôt, il faut vraiment que ça fasse la peine. Si on parle vraiment d'un dépôt souterrain, mais c'est une autre expertise. Puis, si on fait une découverte, oui, je veux dire, probablement, il y aurait probablement des offres qui seraient peut-être intéressées pour acheter et développer cette près de quel que ce soit. Mais avant, il faut faire la découverte. On n'est pas rendu là. Mais quand on parle d'un dépôt à surface, comme une sablière qui contient de l'or, c'est sûr, oui, on ne serait pas obligé d'aller. C'est pas obligé d'aller dans les mains d'une grande société pour aller en exploitation de ce côté-là. On a une certaine expertise parce que j'étais là avec Uragold quand on a fait le processus d'application. Alors, c'est possible. So, just answering the question of Madame Poulain, says,
Monsieur Poulain, Patrick.
Oh, excuse-moi. OK, excuse-moi, Monsieur Poulain. Excuse-moi. Alors, Monsieur Poulain, c'est que la réponse, c'est que ça dépend. Ça dépend de l'ampleur de la découverte. Si on a découvert une mine souterraine à roche de classe mondiale, bien, c'est sûr que ça serait une expertise, une grande société minière pour ça. Pour beaucoup de raisons. Bien, quand on parle d'exploiter, par exemple, une sablière qui a de l'or dedans, bien, ça, c'est quelque chose qui serait peut-être à l'échelle plus à nous de faire peut-être indépendamment. Et aussi, comme je dis, on a déjà un peu d'expertise parce que quand j'étais avec Uragold, on a passé avec tout le processus de permis pour faire une genre d'exploitation. Alors, on a été capable. Et j'ai passé par tous les niveaux de permis de réunion pour arriver avec presque un bail minier. Alors, on va être capable de le faire. Okay.
Il y a quelqu'un qui n'est pas muté?
OK. Alors, voilà, I answered Mr. Poulet's question. OK. Anne?
Oui.
OK. Is there another...
Oui, Mike Bender, assuming your focus is on the key projects now, any future staking plans?
Oh, always. Always. Look, as an exploration company, the thing that costs the least and the most important thing is having the claim. And I'm always on the lookout, especially in our region. You know, when a claim comes up, you know, we try to grab it for sure. You know, everything starts with the claim. No claim, nothing happens. So, you know, and it's the cheapest thing to get. So, you know, so you pay $60 and you have a claim and you have 2 years to decide what to do with it. Spend money on it, exploit it, keep it, or just abandon it. So we're constantly claiming, constantly, you know, and I'm always on the lookout for claims. You know, there's some hot zones. I wait to see if somebody's going to take it. I mean, or somebody's just going to let it go. We try to claim it. Always look, most of everything you see there, besides the Beauce, most of the Beauce project, everything else, it's all claims that we took. I didn't pay anything. This deposit we're seeing here in Ditton here, the gold anomaly in the sand pit here, that was free staking. This cost us $60. I didn't buy this. So of course, staking is important. We always do that. Oh yeah. It's fun too. It's not done online.
So just maybe go back to the question of the prior question. You didn't answer it. You said you were going to answer it in English, in which the question is this: if you were going to outsource the exploration, if we do go there, or
no, the exploitation.
Exploitation, sorry, or do it as is. So you answered it in French, but you said you
I answered. Okay, so honestly, basically, yeah. I mean, if we make a discovery, would we do the exploitation, or basically would we develop the mine ourselves? Well, it all depends. It depends basically the size of the discovery. Obviously, if we discover a world-class underground hard rock gold deposit, well, there are large gold companies out there which have the expertise and the funds to bring a project forward to mining. And usually, what happens at a junior? The life of a junior is that a junior, works the ground, makes a discovery, and if the discovery is made, it's usually sold to a major. That's usually what it is. However, if we're talking about, for example, what we announced this morning, our Ditton property, which you could see is basically a sand quarry that has gold in it. Now, to operate a surface mine, I mean, that's something to the scale of which can maybe be handled by a company of our size. And I just want to point out is that we, from my experience, Bernard and I, we brought to almost permitting level a mine in the Beauce when we were looking at the placer project there. So I know all the hurdles we have to go through to get a permit, to get a mining lease, to get something going. I've done it before. I could easily repeat this in Mégantic, for example, if that's the case. But again, before that, there's work to be done. It has to be measured. It has to be seeing if it's worthwhile or not. But if it is, if there's an interesting grade there in sand that's mineable, oh yeah, I can go for it. Yeah, for sure. It's cash flow. Non-dilutive cash flow. It always has to be considered. Yeah.
There's one or two more questions if we have time.
I can go on. I mean, look, we still have 45 participants. If I see participants dropping off, well, so people are listening. Yeah. So yes.
Okay, so this one is, given the exciting samples in the Mégantic gravel pit, is the pit operator doing anything different going forward to manage additional potential gold?
Well, basically, I mean, he's learning this like pretty much right now. I mean, he knows that we found gold here, actually, because we announced this a couple months ago. If you see here, nice little nugget right here. That's the nugget. That's sample SB16 on the picture right here. Pretty cool. And he was there when we saw that. So so he does. But obviously, I mean, he knows that he has a permit to operate a sand quarry. He doesn't have a permit to do gold. The gold belongs to us, belongs to shareholders. And he's a businessman. And being a businessman, I guess he's open to lots of things. But we'll see. First step is let's go back and let's find out what's the grade of this we're getting here. And of course, obviously it's a good indication that, there's gold everywhere. Every sample we took had gold in it. So, and this thing's 2 kilometers long. So let's go back, let's look at it. I mean, he's the landowner of what you see right here, but there are multiple landowners along this 2 kilometer stretch. So we have to go talk to them. We have to get the permission to go on their land, to do exploration. But definitely look, I got a lot of bits to do this summer, hopefully COVID permitting, I can do some of my kitchen table discussions with a lot of people around there. But we'll see, it's all part of a process, but we have to go see if it's worth it. And first is doing, more measurement and that, but it's definitely an amazing indicator. I've never seen this, where every sample we took has gold in it. I mean, it's we're definitely going back and look, just stay tuned, but I think we're gonna have lots of fun there.
There's one more person would like to ask a question, but the question hasn't come up yet.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Yes, from Victor.
Oui.
You can ask your question, but I think you might have to type it because I can't. Yeah, you would. Yeah, Victor, you would just have to sort of, quickly type your question, and I'll be more than happy to answer it. Here we go.
You're okay.
If the grade is 5 grams of gold per ton, how high would the price of gold be in order to make operate feasible? Now, it depends where you're talking. Again, I can't go answer this because, it's in our domain, it's very highly regulated. You have your exploration, you have different categories, exploration targets, indicated, measured. And when you're talking about, you need your preliminary assessment. So none of that was done, but if you're just like some hard rock mining operations, look, maybe some people can even help me out here. If the Osisko gold mine, François, basically last year, visited the Osisko mine. François, c'était quoi le grade de Osisko qui mine? C'est quelque chose comme 0.6 grammes. Anyway, look, they're mining. They have a hard rock mine open that was profitable at less than 1 gram. So can you imagine a surface mine, which is a sand, to extract the gold from it? I can't venture what is a cutoff grade, which would be profitable because we haven't done preliminary studying, but I could imagine 5 grams per ton can be absolutely fantastic. I don't know. We'll have to see. 5 grams nowadays, 5 grams per ton is considered high grade, even if it's hard rock. Even if you got to go like 500 meters in hard rock to dig your shafts and tunnels, 5 grams is a mine. So if we got 5 grams in the placer deposit at surface, that'd just be it would be extraordinary. It really would. But look, we have to go back and measure. We don't. I can't go too forward on this, but 5 grams per ton would be amazing. Would be amazing. We'll see. And that's it. I don't have any more questions I can see. And if you see more questions, let me know. I think I pretty much answered everybody's question. So put it this way.
I don't see any more.
Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up, but just to say that, we got a lot of things coming up. I still have samples in the pipeline from the antiforms. We're still waiting for some more drill results. I'm waiting for grades of the Megantic and the Chessam sector of the Megantic property. And I just can't wait for the snow to melt to go back and sample more of those antiforms, hoping there's gold in it. If there's gold, I'm talking about the Beauce Gold project. If there's gold on those antiforms that surface, then, we can hope that underneath the different domes of the antiforms, right, the folds, that if the hypothesis that's where, the stress points of where the gold nuggets and the coarse gold was formed, can't wait to test that out. That would have to be tested by follow-up drilling. And of course, I can't wait to go back to this prop right here and see more gold. And today, basically, so today I got to thank, I have with me today, of course, Derek Lila was our computer technician in that. So he helped us a lot today on this. So we're going to wrap up the shareholder part of the meeting, the presentation. Again, I thank you all shareholders who came to look at this and new shareholders. You're welcome. You're free to, everybody, look, I'm available. My phone number's there. Everybody can ask me questions at any time. I'll be more than happy to answer the questions. And I just can't wait for the snow to melt. I want to get back out there. It's going to be an exciting spring, exciting summer. And just follow us. And again, feel free to call me anytime. Don't just, think of what's reading on bulletin boards. In doubt, or if you had a question, come straight to me. Ask me the question. I'll be more than happy to answer you as much as I can. Thank you very much, everybody. So I would like to ask my board members to just hold on, stay with me, but I'll be, so thank you very much and have a nice day, everybody.